Alright. I feel like I got to sneeze again. Tony Braxton. Sneeze again. Sneeze again.
I have no words for that. I don't.
Sometimes you just gotta bust out them clean joints and then, you know what I'm saying? Kind of feel like I want to change my hat. But I think the hat matches.
It does.
It should be cool because it's cream on these shoes. I was gonna say something but that would have came out so inappropriate and it wouldn't have sounded right, so I just didn't say the joke that I was thinking. Come on, let's duck. That's mine. That's mine. Anyway. Welcome back to another episode of I Fucked That Up Tremendously. Boom, 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 boom. Hey, I fucked that up tremendously. Ooh, I fucked that up tremendously. Ow. Welcome back to another episode of WitChaOlAsxPodcast, where we bring you life discussions, drama, life perspectives, difference of opinions, checking in on mental health and the well-being of any and everybody that sits in our domain. Now, I know what you're thinking. We ain't never had no guests, and that's fine. Mind your business. We'll get there when we feel like getting there. But if you allow me, your gracious host and your co-host here to bar your ears for a brief second, we gladly appreciate it. Because I be that fine, sexy young thing. Yeah. Woo! That y'all love to see so much. You know what I'm saying? Good skin. How you feeling? Get in where you fit in. I'm just playing. Anyway, I'm your gracious host, Miss Nicole.
And I'm your co-host, Pac Manley.
And together, we are
WitChaOlAsxPodcast.
Now, dig me on this, you feel me? He don't never give y'all no flair to his intro. And it's not because he ain't got no flair to give y'all. It's because he be trying to make me laugh by doing them pauses.
Well, she takes all the flair out. She takes all the flair for both of us.
Let me put it this way. You're never gonna get it, never gonna get it. Never gonna get it, never gonna get it. Dang, I got him easy. That's crazy. That's the second time I just got your ass.
I'm not that hard.
Pause, my brother. You almost made me laugh just then. That's crazy. You almost got me.
Turn off my devices.
Turn off them devices.
Or silence my devices, I should say.
Turn off the lights.
But what's he really looking for?
Nah, he wasn't. I gotta clear this phone out some. Cause it need, ooh, wee, Jesus. Who was that?
I don't know. Maybe.
Probably could turn them potatoes off. They've been going for 20 minutes. Sorry, y'all. I don't know if y'all heard that, but we heard that.
No, it was the whole knife right there.
Yeah, I was going to say that, but it was pointless to say. Yeah, I gotta go through this phone and get rid of a lot of shit, apparently, because your girl running out of space. All these dang on videos y'all done did. But anyhow. Of course, y'all know we like to do the little check-in every day or every week, because we do these shows every week. What the fuck ever. Pac, how you doing?
I'm all right, you know.
Word.
Still a little upset, you know. This change in weather.
I feel you.
One day it's damn near 85 degrees. Next day it's 35 degrees.
I dig you on that one.
That's how you get sick easily.
Facts.
Because you go outside in shorts. Like earlier, it was very, very warm. I took a nap, woke back up, and there's snow flurries coming down.
Facts.
Like, it was literally 65.
Snow was just...
And I went to sleep, woke up, and then I was 35.
It's that bipolar weather we got.
Yeah. It's the government and HARP. Or them cloud seeding.
I'm not saying nothing. I don't want to go. I don't want them to take me down.
You don't want to go where? Guantanamo Bay?
If you're gonna take me down easy. That's not what she really say. That's not what she really say. I just want y'all to know
If you
that's
want to
not.
take me down easy. I don't even know what song that is, but if I
It's
ever
not
hear
even a
it,
real song, but this girl on TikTok, she was like, if you're gonna me down easy.
well, I'm about to say if I ever
Or
hear
no,
that
it was
song.
gently. Slow and fast and make it go easy or something like that. But yeah.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Relatively speaking. Unfortunately, people want to be buttholes in this world. You know what I'm saying?
You know,
But you know,
some people are dicks and some people are buttholes. And some
man,
people are pussy. Sorry.
wow, truth spoken. But no, I mean, I'm relatively cool. I got, you dropped me off to do be on set, and I got the chance to feel like a normal person again after being locked up and cooped up for months now. I got to feel like a normal person. Got to finally get some work done, because I ain't been able to get no work done or work in a long time. But no, I feel like I'm doing better.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. I feel like it's just the girl getting better.
Sorry, every time I hear the word sister girl or the words sister girl, I think of Undercover Brother.
What's that one song? Man, I forgot it already. It was a song that I think it wasn't Erica Badu. I don't know if it was India.Arie or not. Damn, I feel like somebody had a song about Sister Girl, and it wasn't the name of the song, but they said Sister Girl in the song. I could have sworn I heard that. But I know I wasn't thinking of like Lady Marmalade or anything like that, because they be like, hey, sister, so it is Lady Marmalade. Never mind. It is. God damn it. I feel slow as hell because it was hella Lady Marmalade. In my brain, I was like, I don't think it's that one though, but I keep forgetting that Gwen Stefani, Eve, what's her name? What's Shorty's name? Was it Christina Aguilera? No, I don't think it was her.
What, maybe Lady Marmalade?
Yeah, the original wasn't them.
Yeah.
It was Christina Aguilera, Lil Kim, Maya, and Pink. My bad. I put Gwen Stefani
and
as Pink.
Eve.
Yeah, I think Eve just helped produce the song. I don't think she was actually on the song. I don't
As
even
soon
know
as
if
you
she
said
produced it.
Eve and Gwen Stefani, I got to think about their song together.
They do, yeah, and I think that's why my brain got all these people running through it. Or was it Missy Elliott? No, it was Missy Elliott. It was Missy Elliott that produced the song. Well, she helped produce it, should I say? What the hell didn't Eve have a song with Christina Aguilera and Pink, or with Pink maybe?
Not that I remember.
I don't know why, but yeah, Lady Marmalade. That is the song I was thinking of. That's funny as hell. My brain is mush today. I've literally been up since
Ass Crack of Dawn.
like 3 a.m., 4 a.m. in between, and getting 20 minutes of sleep to staying up for 30, 40 minutes, going back to sleep. Man, my brain is fried. You hear me? But yeah, Patti LaBelle is the original. If y'all didn't know that, you know what I'm saying? She was like, free your baby. Never mind, I can't do Patti. I'm not even gonna disrespect Patti like that. Patti, you know I love you, baby. You know I love you. I always thought that Pink and Eve had a song together.
They might. I don't know.
I don't know. You right.
If they do, it didn't do no numbers.
I always thought they did. But, and I'm not being racist. No, I don't get my white girls mixed up. Because I know
I was about to
it
say,
took a while to get me here. And I'm going to take my time. That's what even Grist and Funny. So let me blow your
I was about to
mind.
say if that was racist, then what was you mixing Eve and Lil Kim up together? Or Eve and Missy? Was that racist too? No.
I just feel like I thought Eve was a part of that song for some reason. I don't know why.
Uh-uh.
But she wasn't
Nope.
at all. That's crazy work because in my head I thought she was a part of that song. And
And
like you said, I'm probably getting because my brain is mush right now. So I probably am getting she probably produced a whole nother song that I'm thinking of, and it wasn't even that one.
yeah, when you just now, I just got to think about Ladies' Night, but Eve ain't on there either.
Damn. Eve, how
That's
you
what
do that?
Brat, Left Eye, Lil Kim, and I can't think of the other person. Maybe Angie Martinez.
Uh, Dang, I don't know why I thought that. That's crazy. My brain be tripping sometimes.
Uh-uh.
I know they about to come for me in the comments. There she go again, not listening. There she go again, overthinking. Yeah, but anyway, we got off track because my brain got to running down a rabbit hole of songs, and it's crazy because I literally said I don't think it's Lady Marmalade, then went, "Hey sisters," it was Lady Marmalade. But in my defense, I think my brain was thinking of Patti LaBelle's version because I don't remember. I don't really remember them saying "Hey sister, soul sister" in Patti LaBelle's version. Uh, Anywho, how y'all doing today? As y'all know, we bring y'all all kind of little subjects, 3 subjects at least. You know what I'm saying? And we kind of just chit chat until we tired of chit chatting. I do gotta go check on my food real quick, my salmon. So, what I'm gonna do real quick is I'm gonna start this show, right? Yep, get with me. Stay with me right here. Don't leave. Stay connected. Anyway, we gonna start the show. Let me scroll down here because I gotta remember. I have 2 great topics, and I was like, which one do I bring in? You know what? We might be able to intertwine these topics together, or we can really just speak on one and say the. Actually, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna speak on one and say the other one for another episode. Yeah, that's cool. We can do that because we're gonna end up getting a difference of opinion and probably be yapping in that for a minute. So the next topic I want to talk about, because you good, you ain't got no advice to give nobody or nothing like that. We ain't getting no emails either. I don't have no advice to really give you motherfuckers, but chase your dreams, live long as you can, doing what you want. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
all I got for you.
y'all know my advice.
That boy always drinking some water.
Drink
And
water, mind your business, you live longer.
that's actually pretty true. Statistics show you mind your business. It don't affect your blood pressure, and it don't affect your
Blood leakage. Sorry.
mind. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Your brain's able to think about everything other than somebody else's drama. So yeah, say that for your baby mama. But
Or your big headed mama. Sorry.
ooh, the shade. But so we're gonna start with generational differences. Ooh, yeah. I don't know how much that gonna really. Whew, I'm out of breath. No, I'm just kidding. No, I ain't. I don't know how much that really gonna make it in the cut because there was a lot of aluminum foil wrestling going on in there. I was struggling to get the other part of aluminum foil off because that shit was hot as hell. My finger was like, man.
Well, at least she wasn't wrestling with saran wrap.
Like Buns
Like
and
Buns and
Rashawn.
Rashawn.
Really just Rashawn, because I don't. Nah, Buns was.
He came in
Yeah,
there
he came in there.
jumping and. What you gonna wait for me to turn into a butterfly?
They foolish for that. You got to. You
Lick
got
it
to.
before you stick it. You got to make
make
it soft in the recipe before you.
Oh, you know the song.
Sha-da-da-da. It's one of my favorite movies.
That's crazy. That man know the
It's
song.
one of my favorite movies. I love that movie.
I just knew that part. As a kid, you wasn't really supposed to be singing that part, but we sure made sure when there were no adults around. You got to lick it before you stick it.
Bernie Mac was hilarious.
What you get a saran wrap for? At 3 o'clock in the
Saran
morning.
wrap 2 o'clock in the morning. Plan on eating more than a sandwich, boy.
I was like, where did this come from? Is that really a thing?
What, saran wrap?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ever used saran wrap back in?
No.
Never mind. That's not this show. That's the late night show. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm over here.
No, I haven't. But yeah, saran wrap is, well, yeah, dental dam is a thing. But if you don't got dental dam, saran wrap.
So it's like a condom for your mouth.
Well,
Never mind. We'll get into it at late night show. Cause I ain't gonna lie to you. Some of the stuff I don't be needing to know sometimes.
I'm about to say she said it in the movie. You're not supposed to put it over your you're supposed to put it over me. Did you think you was gonna get spoiled?
Wait a minute. My mind is just racing through so many different. We gonna say that for the nightcap. Let me put that in here. Nightcap chat. What is it called again? My brain forgot. What was it called again?
What?
Saran wrap.
Yeah.
That's funny. Cause now I got so many questions. A booty call. I'll put that in there so I can remember that's where that came from. Anywho, like I said, the topic we're going over is generational differences. This could mean a multitude of things for a lot of people, but one of the generational differences that, especially me and my brother was just talking about, was things that your parents didn't teach you, and how my brother felt like your parents didn't teach you that, so shouldn't you, if their parents didn't teach them that, shouldn't they want to teach you that? And so forth and so forth. But like I was explaining to my brother, there's a few things about generational differences. One is a lot of times if that parent was not well versed or educated in that subject, they're probably not going to be able to really give you the education on it. Two, a lot of times parents pick and choose what information is vital to give their kids based on the knowledge level of the child, and um, at what capacity they're willing to accept certain information. For example, you might have had a parent who went to work every day and that's all they knew was work, 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 pay bills, work, 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 pay bills. And that's probably what that parent's going to teach you is to hustle and pay your bills. Um, Whereas they might not teach you the importance of financial literacy, of how to invest and how to make stocks, because that's something that they probably didn't know. So now that you're the new generation, you want to learn that stuff, so you learn that stuff. But I guarantee you there's stuff that your parents taught you that you're not even giving to your kids, that you blocked out and you decided to not give your kids. It's a generational thing. We pick and choose what we want to give our kids. Now some people try to give their kids a little bit of everything to make them well versed and well rounded in the world, but at the same time, let's be real, trying to give them a bit of everything can overwhelm them too early. Some stuff they do need to learn as they get to an adult stage. There's some stuff you don't have to just flood them with. You know what I'm saying? And that's just my take so far on generational differences. Pac, what do you think?
There are some things that should be, that should be handed down, maybe like family recipes, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Then
Do you
there's
think
some
generational difference? Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
then there's some things that shouldn't. That should just stop right there.
Do you think generational differences Because technically speaking, we're a generational difference. Not a whole lot, but we technically are.
Mm-hmm.
But based on how we are, there's no difference in how your mama raised you and how my mama raised me almost. And I feel like that's because your mother was born back in the
50s.
50s, right?
Uh-huh.
My grandmother was born back in 44. So my grandmother and your mother are about 6 to 10 years apart, give or take. Wait, because Miss Alice was
It's
born.
8.
She was born in 52,
52.
right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, 8, like you said, 8 years. So they were raised by women that was born back in the early 1900s, late 1800s, right? So their mentality of how they raised their kids is basically the same as how your mother raised you, is the same way my grandmother raised her daughters, and how she raised her grandkids, and how her daughter, my mama, decided to raise us. So logically we ended up getting the same raising. I just got it handed down from two different generations. You know what I'm saying? There were some things your mother did different than my mother, of course.
Of course, because I'm a male, you're a female. No, I'm playing.
That, and just because your family dynamic is a tad bit different than mine.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like you got a great opportunity to be around most of your mother's siblings.
Yeah. Yep.
I was around most of my mother's siblings, but not in a sense where I feel like they were auntie and uncle. And I'm sorry if my aunties and uncles see this, but I'm just keeping it real. Sometimes y'all didn't feel like auntie and uncle, y'all felt like big cousins. You know, just keeping it real. I love y'all, but I'm just keeping it real. Um, R.I.P. to one to a couple of y'all, but um, with generational differences, as you become older, what things did your mother instill in you that you're going to keep, and what things did your mother instill in you that you're going to disregard and not move into your kids, if any?
Um, there are some things that I'd rather not say that I won't be teaching my kids that I don't feel I need to teach my kids.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but most of the stuff my mom taught me, I will try to pass it down. It's a little bit too much to say
Mm-hmm.
what I'm gonna pass down, but
Is it like general principles? Cook,
yeah, yeah,
clean, take care
cook,
of yourself.
clean, yeah, that some educational things that they don't teach in schools.
Okay.
Because my mother taught me about why does his name always escape my brain?
His grasp.
Hmm.
Your grasp.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I'm gonna go take the salmon out.
Uh. Nat Turner. My
Ah,
mom taught me Nat Turner at an early age.
yeah.
Um. But there's some things that don't that when I have a kid that necessarily won't need to be taught anymore because some of that stuff is obsolete. You know, we don't have to teach our kids how to set the timer on the VCR
Ah, cause
or
baby,
you know what I'm saying, or set up the DVR.
baby, these kids don't know nothing about it. Now do they?
You know what I'm saying?
About dial up. Let me
Or
stop.
you know what I'm saying, how to set up an answering machine.
Ooh, recording a voicemail. Back
Yeah,
how that we had to back in the day.
yeah, but
Cause everything automated on the phone now, so you just click a couple buttons and it do your thing. But the pause and having that music play for a little bit, oh man.
yeah, there's some things that are obsolete now that we would have never thought would be obsolete to this day. Like I was watching a video the other day on YouTube was talking about like laser discs and you know what I'm saying, how everybody thought laser discs was gonna take over.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't even make a mark. I think I only knew one person with a laser disc player and laser disc.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what I'm saying? Like yeah, how to properly clean a CD or a DVD.
Man, it got scratches on it. Be careful how you put it in there, cause you might put it in there on the wrong side of scratch, and then the disc don't really ain't gonna work.
Right. But yeah, it's stuff like that. it's completely obvious. You won't be teaching your kids about how to set up a VCR. You can teach them about a VCR, but
Yeah,
you know,
stuff that went away after the early 2000s. They not going.
yeah,
We ain't gonna make a difference to them. And hell, by the time my kids is grown, them motherfuckers gonna have different stuff they gonna have to teach me how to use.
right. But yeah, common knowledge stuff. That's always going to get handed down. You know, hell, because my view on some things and the way I see things is a lot different than how she viewed things. So that child would have two different learning.
I wouldn't say they're a lot different.
They're not a lot different, but
There's some differences for sure,
yeah, of course.
but not a lot different. We ain't that far off from each other and thinking we both crazy. Um,
Hey, 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 hey.
no, we both kind of can keep a cool head. He can keep a cool head longer than I can.
She called me crazy.
I was just joking.
Jerry, I told her. No,
Stupid. No, but honestly, you can keep a cool head longer than I can. I've actually learned how to keep a cooler head from being around you and Sabrina. Y'all have definitely taught me how to keep a cool head. I think that's a Sagittarius thing. I'm a fire sign, so I like to snap at the drop of a dime.
It wasn't always like this.
You know what? I wasn't. I wasn't for sure if I was gonna be able to shake that hot headedness because I'm not gonna lie. This is one thing that generationally I want to teach my children that my mother tried to teach me, but I was too hot headed and couldn't see nothing but red once I was already mad. Once I was already there and I was well over the hump, there was no turning me back. Um, my mother tried her hardest to teach me how to control my anger because I didn't like being lied on. I didn't like being lied to, and I didn't like people playing in my face, as if I was stupid or something. So when you cross that boundary, it'll set me off. Not because you tell them the truth, but because I don't play like that. Like you don't play with my character like that. And I was always taught to, uphold my character to a high degree and protect my worth. So when you play with me like that, it sent me to a whole nother world. But my mom always tried to teach me that there's more than one way to skin a cat. So you don't always have to blow up and go crazy on somebody to get your point across or to get them to understand that you're not to be played with. Point blank in a period. And that's one thing that I would definitely maintain just from my mama is trying to teach my kid the correct way to deal with certain situations and when it's okay to go to that boiling point and when it's not okay to go to that boiling point. Um, that right now I can't think of anything that my mom has done or taught that I won't be teaching my kids at the moment because I honestly my mom was one of those parents. She'll teach you the basic necessities and everything outside of that you had to show peak interest in or you had to be going through that situation so she can walk you through it because sometimes in life, I think parents, get to a point where they feel like they gotta walk their kid through every crisis in life. And what I've seen from doing in college, just doing small classes for psychology is when you put your kid through scenarios they haven't even been through yet. Sometimes you're automatically putting trauma on your kid. Sometimes you already giving them anxiety and mental blocks because they ain't got time to be dealing with that already. And sometimes you are saving them and protecting them, but you got to know what's the right thing to go ahead and put in their face at a certain age and what's not the right thing. Now, that's your discretion. Nobody can tell you what's the wrong or right thing, but sometimes there's certain things you just overloading your kid with, you know. And that's one thing I would say generationally that's different, is back in the day it was more like a don't ask, don't tell type of situation. Newer generations are starting to ask and be told. Um, I don't know. The generational differences in this world is just different. Um, between me and you, just like we was raised, like I said, by people 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. You know what I'm saying, so to speak. So we still have that old school mentality in us. No matter how much we try to shake it, we still have that old school mentality in us. And I think some of the old school mentality I do want to kind of break a little bit so that my child can, because my mom and them had nothing to do with this, but I never felt comfortable being the tomboy that I really knew I was because I thought I would get, you know, in trouble for not, being a girly girl. I thought
Mm-hmm.
I'd get in trouble for that. So when I realized my mom didn't really give a damn, I was like, bet. So I know early on, and like I said, my mom had nothing to do with it. I'm not blaming her because that was me. My mom had never made it seem like it was a closed door, but I just automatically assumed because my sister was a girly girl that if I'm not a girly girl, I might get in trouble. It wasn't until I got a little older and I was like, okay, yeah, mom, I don't like skirts. I don't like dresses. You know what I'm saying? But I think generationally, we need to teach our kids that it's okay to speak up and tell us what's really going on, because we don't know what's going on in their brain unless they say something. So many kids, unfortunately, unalive themselves because they don't think that they can go to their parent or their auntie or their uncle or whomever and tell them what's going on without being judged or without being told, oh, you just going through puberty or you just going through a phase in life. You know what I mean? Um, I think that's something generationally that everybody needs to work on.
Also, I'm glad me and my mom had a very open discussion. She let that be known. She let that be known at a young age that regardless of anything, you can always come to me
Hmm.
and talk to me about whatever. Don't think it's too. You know what I'm saying? Don't think it's too much or too gross or too embarrassing or what. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? She's like, hey, I lived life 30 years before you came to this earth. So
Right.
I know some things that you don't, you know.
Yeah.
So you can come to me and talk to me about it. If I can't find you the answer, I can point you on somebody that can find you the answer.
Right.
Because there was some questions that I asked her and she answered them.
You know what? I probably get, and it's funny because when I was on set, one of the actors, and I dang it, I forgot to get his info because he was like he wanted to link up and do some Black History stuff. But um, one of the actors he had mentioned, and I get this a lot. He said I would have thought you was in your early 20s
Mm.
from looking at you. He said, but hearing you talk, I was like, okay, is this a 42-year-old with a youth face and youth energy or something? Because he was like, it threw me off. He said when I seen your face, I'm like, okay, this is definitely somebody that's super young. And then he said when you start talking and educating us on a lot of Black history stuff, and also the stuff I'm hearing you say, I'm like, dang, this has to be, maybe she's older than what I thought. She's just young in the face. And when I said no, I'm 30, I'll be 31 in April. He was like, wow. And I was like, damn. And for me, I was like, okay, so this is why it's important for me to teach my kids that it's okay to be outspoken, charismatic, have some charm to them. And it's okay to not necessarily, you don't need to know everything, but it's okay to know you know some things. And it's okay to accept people's opinion for what it is. And it's okay to have your own opinion and not let it be swayed. Because some people, a lot of people get their opinion swayed because they don't want to argue. They don't want to, seem combative. I'm gonna teach my kids that, you know, speaking up for yourself is not combative. Saying that where you feel uncomfortable is not combative. It's just the way you need to go about it. You know what I mean? It's just the way you need to go about it. Just because you're black don't mean that you are being combative, aggressive, or trying to stir the pot. You know what I mean? What was the giggle for? Combative and
Yeah,
aggressive.
being black and
Aggressive and combative,
aggressive.
because that's
Yeah.
the first thing that everybody runs to when you speak up for yourself and say somebody's being rude or disrespectful or making you feel uncomfortable or feel some type of way. You instantly are being deemed combative and argumentative, and it's like, no, I'm not being argumentative. It naturally, when black people talk with passion, you can hear it in our voice. Whether our voice goes higher or goes lower with a monotone, whichever way, it always is going to elevate in some type of way. Because I talk monotone most of the time. So when I'm getting passionate about something, yeah, my voice may peak a little bit because I'm passionate about what we're talking about. I'm not being aggressive. I'm not being combative. I'm not being argumentative. I just, this is how I feel. But Pac, when it comes to generational differences. What is the biggest generational difference that you have seen from when you was raised to these new kids being raised?
Parents are younger and grandparents are younger too.
Damn, he ate, left no crumbs. Um,
I'm just saying, I'm my mom's firstborn and she had me when she was 30. So, some of these people are having their first child at 15. No shade or anything, but you know what I'm saying? If she's 15, then the grandmother is what? Late 20s, early 30s?
yeah, could
Like,
be.
my grandmother, I couldn't even tell you what age my grandmother was when I was born, but you know what I'm saying? Believe she passed when I was 4 or 5 or something like that. So she was always that, you know what I'm saying, that grandmother that, people have that, that vision of what a grandmother looks like in their
Mm.
head. You know what I'm saying? Not grandmama still going out to the club or
Like how my
whatnot.
mama is. She's a true grandma.
Yeah, yeah. But you know what I'm saying? I think that is a lot of the generational gap now.
Grandma still want to kick it
That
with their daughters.
Yeah, that and then you know what I'm saying, you're a child having a child, so you're learning stuff. At the same time, your child's learning stuff.
Yeah, I thought the cutest thing was when I seen on the internet that they were saying how you could tell your baby spend too much time with grandma.
Oh.
When the baby's watching Young and the Restless, the
The
sound come
baby
on,
was looking out the window.
that baby turned straight around like Young and the Restless. Let me go
That
on over here and
baby
sit
was looking
down.
out the window, the theme song came on, he ran over to the couch.
He was ready for it. And it made me smile because it made me think about, my grandma being a real grandma. And my heart goes out to people who didn't get this opportunity to grow with their grandmother as long as I did. I got my grandmother all pretty much through my 20s. I got my grandmother, but and like pretty my whole teenage life, my whole little kid life, I had my granny. But I loved when she would told on Bold and the Beautiful, Young and the Restless. She barely watched all my children, but she'll watch it every now and again. Them shows helped me at a young age know what I was capable of doing. Watching Young and the Restless, Bold and the Beautiful, I was like, that's something I want to do. I said that at a young age in my head, like I want to do that. But when I got older, I got scared and didn't go for it. But one thing about generational differences, you can tell me if you think this is right or wrong. I feel like the grandmothers that we had and the mothers that we had, they were big on respect. They were big on respect your elders, treat people the way you want to be treated. You know what I'm saying? They were big on that. And I think today's generation feel like I'm gonna just treat you how I feel like it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna cuss at grannies, spit on the sidewalk, and hope you slip in it. I just don't think they have. I think that this newer generation doesn't have as much respect as they should be having. Not all of them, but it's a big number of them that I feel like does not carry a bigger respect barilla.
Yeah, that's true. I know my mom always wanted respect. Can't speak on my grandmother because didn't really,
Yeah, right,
know, but I guess I can say because she taught my mom the same thing. So
right, right. And you know what I love about Auntie Geneva?
hmm.
Because that's the only one I really got a chance to, that I have a chance to have a relationship with. Um, is she's not shying away from who she is, where she came from. You ask her a question, she gonna give you that real.
Hmm.
She speak her mind. I think that's why that's my girl, cause she speak her mind like I speak my mind, and um, that's why when y'all say, "Oh, my mama would have loved you," I say, "Oh yeah, she must have been hot fire like me." Because if she would have loved me, that's a sweet hot firecracker right there.
Yeah, she wasn't really much of a firecracker. She had her
Like,
times,
yeah, yeah. That's
but
why I said sweet firecracker. I'm a
nah,
firecracker.
she was more jokester and a trickster than anything.
Yeah, my kind of girl. I do really hate that I didn't get that opportunity to meet
Mhm.
Mama Mary
Oh,
and your father too. I really feel like that, to me, that stripped away a bit of generational connection for a child that we would have.
like
That,
like I hated for Robin.
yeah,
You
she got
know,
granddaddy, but she don't got
well,
grandmama.
she got her grandmother on her dad's side, but she don't have her mother's mother.
That's, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and it sucks, man. Because my mom and I talking about it. I said part of the reason why I think I was afraid to have kids, besides the world, is because I always wanted my grandmother to meet my grandchild, her first great grandchild from me. And I'm grateful my sister's kids got to meet their great grandma before she passed away. It just sucks that me and my brother's kids will never physically meet their great granny. Um, Good thing is they at least get to meet their grandma. You know, Lonnie almost made me cry because she had my phone and grandma's picture is on my phone and on that phone, of course, the one that's recording us. And she picked it up. She said, "Gigi." I said, "Yeah, that's great grandma." She said, "Where Gigi? Where Gigi?" I was like, "Baby, you too young to understand where Gigi is, you know." But she was like, "Grandma, mama, grandma, mama." I said, "Yeah, that's your grandma's mama, my mama's mama." She was like, "Oh, Gigi, Gigi," and it almost made me cry because I was just like, "Damn, man!" Like I'm really sitting here thinking about how, for your side, they won't have grandma and grandpa. And it's on my side. It sucks because they won't have their biological grandfather.
Yeah, I was about to say they won't have their biological grandfather. They had their step grandfather on my side.
Both of us will.
Yeah.
Yeah, my kids will have. Our kids will have at least one biological grandmother on their side. You know, but man, the the sad part, what you brought up too, was a good point about the new generational grandmothers being younger. I'm not gonna put nobody's business out there on Front Street, but we know a person whose mother, his children's mother, is young, has a couple of children the same age, if not younger, than her current grandchildren.
All right. Yeah, I know
Um,
a couple grandmothers that are younger than me.
God, dog.
I know, right?
Well, but they probably had kids at 20, 21.
Younger than that.
Oh, okay. And let me tell y'all something real quick, because I don't want y'all to think we bashing folks for
Oh, nah, nah.
having children young, because I'd be remiss to do such a thing, because I have family members that have had kids at 15 years old. Yeah, not something to be proud of, but at the same time, I'm not judging because I know that road. Um, but I say this to say I want the newer generation to take what they see from this generation, because if you look at this generation, um, a lot of us did have kids late. A lot of us had kids late. And when I say late, I don't mean like, oh, we're 60 years old having kids. Some of us waited till we were 30, 35. Some of us still ain't got no babies. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some generational people who had kids young. But our generation, I'm not going to say, I don't really think we had a lot of 15 and pregnant, 16 and pregnant, you
Hell
know.
no. There's a lot of people that, had kids early and had kids late.
Yeah,
Where their kids are like 18 years apart or whatnot.
yeah, yeah. And it's very possible, but, just if one thing I could give to the generation coming up above us, pay attention to the generations before you, and do not take their mistakes as they were a horrible person. Take their mistakes they made and learn from those mistakes, but take the good that they did and continue that. So that way, that good can stay in a generational cycle, and it doesn't get swept underneath the rug. And then history repeats itself, even though history repeats itself anyway. But what else do you have about the generational difference? You got any questions for me or anything in general you want to add?
Nah, not really.
When you think of generational differences, if you had to give me a brief statement of what generational differences means to you, what would you say?
I don't
Was
know
that a
that.
stump question?
Yes.
Okay. Generational differences to me means that someone in the next generation decided to make a difference in the way they think, the way they move, the way that they want to upbring the new community. Um, and a lot of times, those differences are viewed in a negative light, depending on who's viewing them. Because let's be real, all generational differences are not accepted. There are certain communities that have new generational differences, and those communities are not excited or happy about those changes that they made within their community. I don't need to say what community we talking about. Y'all should know. Um, did you catch on?
No.
You
I
did.
kind of did, but
I'll tell you after the show's over with. But of course, we're gonna switch some gears since Pac doesn't have anything else to add to generational differences, which is perfectly fine and perfectly normal. Usually, I ask him a stump question and he goes, "Girl, you done lost your mind. I'm not answering that." But Pac today has our difference of opinion.
where do you draw the line that funny and racist?
Ooh, this must have triggered what I showed you the other night.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I like that. Where do you draw the line between funny and racist?
Yeah. Because, that also triggered me. That, and then before I got in the shower today, I seen another post about Gen Z wanting to cancel Robert Downey Jr. for Tropic
Tropical,
Thunder.
yeah.
And it's like, okay, why? We not mad at it. Why y'all want to cancel him for that? For one, the movie's been it's old. It's an old
It was in
movie.
the years where we could do it, and it was no problem.
Right. But you know what I'm saying? Back then it was accepted. Hell. Robert Downey Jr. has an invite to the barbecue. Just off of that road.
That's a great question. It's almost a stump question because the lines are blurred.
Mm-hmm. They really are.
Blurred very well to the point where you almost sound racist yourself saying something ain't racist. You know what I'm saying? Or
Yeah.
prejudiced, because But for me, something's funny to me typically when it's got a little truth to it, and it's not being hurtful or said in a malicious intent. Like the one joke I showed you the other night that I was referencing, when he was like, when black people get on the floor and
Laughing.
laugh, and in the video, they all get on the floor. Where the black people get on the floor and they chuckling, and he's doing the fake, the viral thing where everybody's fake chuckling and whatnot, and then he's got Keith Sweat in the background. I'm not gonna be here for long. To me, it was borderline racist because first of all, I don't know no black person to get on the floor to laugh.
I do.
Like, are you talking like from the scene? It's like maybe he's referring to when we sitting in the chair and we fall out the chair laughing, and that's fine.
But if you don't find it funny enough to fall out on the floor laughing, why did you get down on the floor?
That's where I felt like it was a tad bit racist at, because you don't understand the logic of why they on that floor cracking up.
Right.
So don't get on the floor fake cracking up. And I get it was just a skit and it was just a joke. So I'm not coming to saying that man in particular is racist. I'm saying the skit to me was a tad bit racist. But on the same token, though, black people do a plethora of things when we laugh. We pat each other, tap each other, push each other,
Run.
We do a plethora of things.
Stomp our feet, clap our hands.
Stumping these big old bunions. Amen. We're quick to give you a quick little, I know that's right. You know what I'm saying? So it was an abundance of things that he could have done. But getting on the floor and laughing, first of all, they was in a restaurant. I'm gonna be honest with you. Black folks ain't getting on a restaurant floor. Not to laugh. We probably might get up out our chair. we probably might. That's probably really when we get. I ain't gonna say probably. That's really when we get to pushing at you and laughing like a mug.
Yeah, I'm about to say the only time we might get on the floor is if we laughing too far back and the
In the
chair
chair
flip back.
fall. Because most times when we get on the floor laughing, we usually in somebody's house that we know, or we in our own house cracking up so bad we sliding off couches and chairs and shit. But you ain't gonna catch us sliding on no dirty ass restaurant floor. What black folks you been around?
No, but then like that also makes me think about, I don't know who the two gentlemen are, but it's a white dude and a black dude. I think they're really well. I'm judging by the videos, they're close friends, and they say things like, you know what I'm saying, like black people do this, white people do that.
Mm-hmm.
And the white guy might go a little bit too far, and the black dude like, hey. But you know what I'm saying? But that's part of the skit. It's not like that's how that person. Well, he might really feel that way, but you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
some of those, like you said, are truthful things.
Yeah, and a lot of times you can tell when somebody's trying to be racist. It's blatant. It's in your face.
Right.
And then you got other times people don't realize what they might have posted came off as racist until somebody brings it up to them.
Right.
But I feel like this: if you gotta ask, is this racist?
Probably
It's
is.
racist. If you say it and you be like, ooh, it's racist, just don't say it. And I'm not. This is not just for the black people when I'm saying racist, because, you know, well, I'm gonna touch another subject another day.
That's just like the even though I was making a joke, I don't know how many people are gonna laugh about it. I don't even know if she's gonna laugh about it. But one of the white lady supervisors at my job, she was talking about how a manager never answers her phone call.
Mm.
And she was like, I don't know why she don't ever answer my phone. I was like, ask her. Just be like, is it because I'm black?
Oh, you did tell me that.
And everybody in the office just got the busting out laughing. She was like, you know what? I just might do it. I was like, ooh, I want to be there to see her reaction.
Wait, so was the person who wasn't getting their phone calls answered?
They're both white. They're both white women.
Child, you're not gonna get me to laugh on this episode today. You're not getting that one, because that almost got me when you said they both was white. Because my mind instantly went, now why would you tell?
A white woman to go tell ask another white woman, is it
It's
because
'cause
I'm black?
You know what's funny? My boy Sean that I used to work at the quick shop with. I remember I told him to say that one time, and he refused to say it. Because it was this customer that just always used to come in and harass people for a couple minutes, and then he go about his business. So I told him, I said, next time, ask him, is it because I'm black? Well, not me. That's what
what he was supposed to say to that
That's
person.
what he was supposed to say. But who was it that told him to say that? Because I guess this is where you could say it. This is where borderline racism coming at. Because it was a white boy that told him to say it. I'm getting sleepy, y'all, so my delusion is kicking. And I didn't mean to say me. I was getting ready to say something else when me came out. But
if it's coming from a white, I don't know.
I felt like it was racist for the white guy to say it to another white guy, to ask him, is it
For him,
black? Yeah, he told him to say that to the guy.
Say it to the guy.
Yeah, he told him to ask him, is it because I'm black? And I'm like, that was tasteless. That wasn't so tasteful. And really, the dude that said it was like, he looked at me, he went, was that racist? I said, if you gotta ask me, he said, you right. I already know. And he apologized and everything, but I was just like, see, that's the thing. You don't want to be in that situation where you have to apologize for saying something that you should have never said in the first place.
All right. Just like I read something earlier. There's I guess a new rapper or something that came out, and he made a song called, I can't believe, I think it was like White Nigga.
Oh, wow.
And he's a white boy. Yeah. And he's going and he's getting, I'm gonna have to go back and see where I seen this at. But yeah, he's catching a lot of flack from that.
What did you I think you sent me this video, and maybe it was you, maybe it wasn't. Video of the white guy that was in battle rap. It was either you or Brandon that said it to me. He in battle rap and he rapping. He said he gonna say, I can't say nigga.
And he said it, and dude slapped the shit out of him. Yeah.
And I was
Can't
thinking to
do it.
myself, like, y'all be playing a dangerous game with certain black folk.
Yeah, y'all do.
Oh, speaking of generational differences, I know we left that subject, but this also blends in with comedy and races. Just cause one black person tell you it's okay to say nigga, do not take your goofy ass around the next group of black folks and thinking you could say that, because that black person wanted you to say because they wanted to hear your lily white ass say it. They thought it was gonna be funny to hear you say it. You gotta understand, not all black folks is gonna find that funny, and this is where the generational difference kicks in at, because our generation don't find that funny. We just don't. I'm not giving no white person no pass, no Mexican no pass. Puerto Ricans, y'all might get a pass. Dominicans, y'all might get a pass because y'all low key kind of black. Y'all just speak Spanish. I'm just keeping it real. You know, I feel like that. Really, honestly, I'm trying my best to stop saying it just because I don't need it in my vocabulary unless I'm acting.
The funniest thing is when you watch fight videos
Mm-hmm.
of like two white dudes fighting, and they be
Mm-hmm.
like, "Come on, nigga! Come on, nigga!"
It's like, why is that needed?
Like, why are you that comfortable with saying that?
So I got very offended at a group of black folks. It was a big country fed white boy and a miniature little white boy. He know he should have left that big country fed white boy alone. And that white boy was tow him up. Now they both white. Now the little stubby one, the shorter one.
Stubby one.
I didn't mean to call him stubby. The shorter one.
Yeah, you did. Said it.
I'm delusional. Remember, y'all. The shorter one. He got a little muscle to him, but the shorter one, he was throwing insults at the heavyset boy. And the heavyset boy, he told him to come out, they fight. He's like, come on, let's fight. So they get into a tussle. The bigger one, of course, is winning. But as he's punching him, I thought I was tripping. Because I thought I heard him say, I told you, nigga. Thought I was playing with you, nigga. Da-da-da this, da-da-da, right? I said, is my ears not clean? Because I know that's not what I heard. Child, I must have goddamn me rewind that back. Put the phone to my ear. Forget the AirPod. Let me put the phone to my ear. Make sure I heard what I heard. And I heard what I heard.
He said it. Man, it's a lot of people, different races, that as soon as they get angry or get to fighting, that N-word come out.
And it's like, why do y'all want... Why is it... What's the power behind saying it? Because I don't ever feel no superpowers for saying it.
Yeah.
What superpowers do y'all got when y'all say it? Tell me what makes y'all want to take the chance on getting hit by somebody. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, not too many black people tolerate you saying it long enough before they put their hands on you.
Right.
You know, and I remember this one black man gonna say, if they start locking your ass up for putting your hands on people just because they use that word, let's see how many of y'all still put your hands on folks. And I'm thinking to myself, Uncle, you take your Uncle Tom ass on somewhere. Now, speaking of Uncle Tom, I don't know how true this is, and I haven't done my research on my own, and I will, but I was actually told that Uncle Tom is not a derogatory word for a black person. Because Uncle Tom actually helped slaves.
I don't know. Never read the book. Uncle Tom's Cabin or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, never read the book.
I was supposed to read the book, but I'm gonna be honest with you, I ain't read shit. I let them classmates read it, and they helped me with my homework.
But, I guess it's suggestive to each person. Because when I grew, me growing up, Uncle Tom was a derogatory term.
Yeah, it definitely was. It was definitely a derogatory term, and it was, I think it was Spike Lee, Tyler Perry, and was it Ice Cube? It was three people that said that when they actually read the book, and they also did their research about Uncle Tom, it's not considered a derogatory slander for black folks because he actually was a supporter of black people. He helped black people escape. So I was like,
Yeah, but things change. Generational difference. Things change over the years.
Yeah, and maybe they just brainwashing us, making us think that Uncle Tom was this Captain Save-A-Ho this whole time. I don't know.
Captain Save-A-Ho.
But before we close this out, you know what I thought was so interesting when I was watching The Real Housewives of Atlanta? Is that they had went to
Bunch of
Savannah.
Uncle Toms on that? No, I'm
I'm
sorry.
crying. They had went to Savannah, Georgia, and they went to go see the oldest church in the world for black people. The church has diamond style shaped holes in the floor. And I'm not gonna bring up the Portia thing. If you know about Portia, then you know. If you know, you know. Let me just put it that way.
I don't know.
But they were discussing the Underground Railroad, and he was explaining that the little holes is what they would use to pause to get air before that kept moving underneath. Now, if you don't know, the Underground Railroad is not a real railroad. And once again, if you know, you know. Somebody gonna be in the comments like, "What do you mean? If you know, you know? What does that mean?" I'm like,
yeah,
go watch.
Shut up.
I'm like, go watch Real Housewives of Atlanta season 6. You'll find out what I'm talking about. But I just thought that was pretty cool. Like, one thing I think that's not different or hasn't changed within the generational growth is that almost every black person I know is intrigued with our history. I haven't met too many black folks that's not intrigued with the history. I've met some that is racist in their own right or prejudiced, if you will, and say ignorant stuff, but I ain't really met too many people that wasn't intrigued by our history.
Do you mean black folks or just folks in general?
Black folks. Now, folks in general.
I was about to say, because all this, especially all these clips that they showing these two dudes are the ones that cut DEI. Oh, that's hilarious.
The He-Man.
It is hilarious.
Woman, the He-Man Black Haters Club.
Have you seen those videos? Was it two young dudes that was part of the ones cutting budgets for the government for DEI? And they used Chat GPT to distinguish what was DEI and what wasn't.
Crazy.
And these dudes are like in their 20s and stuff, and they just cutting funding for all this different stuff. It's crazy. It's just there. If you have seen it, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, please go look it up. Their deposition, because they're being questioned by the government, is hilarious.
I might have to check that out.
It is hilarious.
Now, before we close out the show, anything else you want to give them? Generational difference information? Any?
Leave Brittany alone. I'm sorry.
Crying racist or comedy? What was it? Comedy or racism?
Yeah.
Funny versus racism.
Yeah, funny versus racist. No. You know, stop trying to cancel Robert Downey Jr. for Tropic Thunder. That was a good role.
One question before I close it out, actually. At your current age, have you experienced more racism now or when you were younger?
Do you want to say younger? I don't experience no racism now.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn, must be nice. Because a motherfucker like me experienced racism everywhere she go.
I guess because...
Probably because I didn't really experience it when I was younger.
It might be. And it's funny that I experienced it when I was younger in the North, and now I'm more Southern. I don't really experience it.
I don't know. I just thought it was strange. I was like, damn, why am I experiencing more? And it's crazy because the racism isn't necessarily from strange people. It's from never mind. Anyway, I'm getting more delirious by the minute. I still got more shit to shoot. I need to eat. So what I'm going to tell y'all is I hope you have a good flipping day. Because today was a good day. Ooh, oh, my bad. We're supposed to be hustling and motivating. You dig what I'm saying? Get like me. Nah, but for real, though. Thank y'all for sticking around with my delusional ass. Because I'm tired. Not going to sit here and cap. I'm tired. I want to go to bed. But I got work to do. So thank y'all for sticking around. Thank y'all for allowing me and the co-host to borrow your ears. Co-host, you got anything else before I do the final closeout? Listen,
Peace in the Middle East.
your luscious host, your gracious host, Ms. Tay Nicole, will gladly appreciate y'all for letting us borrow your ears. And your co-host over here, Pac Manley, who apparently don't know he's supposed to say his name, would like to thank you as well. He gave you guys a good little wave. But with that, we're closing out, and together we have been
With Your Old Ass Podcast.
Coronavirus. Hold on, let's try that again. Together.
Nah, leave that in, son. This is the new show. With your
I want to laugh, but I'm going to cough again. He stole my move. I told him I was going to do that. You thief. You thief.
Hey, it was perfect. It was a perfect setup.
He a thief because I was like, I couldn't tell my shoulders was moving over here because I wasn't doing it good enough. He stole my move. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and close out because I'm getting more delusional by the minute. Or delirious. I think it's delirious is the word I'm supposed to be using.
Delirious, delusional, it's all the same.
It really is. But anyway, like I said, we have been
With Your Old Ass Podcast.
Peace out.
Deuces.
Welcome to the West Coast.